Deja vu.
Yay! Hi. How you doing?
I mean, I'm counting my blessings that I get to see you 2 days in a row,
Oh,
even with the technical difficulties.
thank you. I know it's going to go smoothly this time. It's good. Nothing. No. Oh God. Yes. Here we go. It's be a beautiful thing. Hi, everybody out there. Thanks for coming back.
Hi guys, thank you for coming back, and thank you for joining us anew if you're here for the first time as well. My name is Briana Rodriguez. I'm the editor-in-chief of Backstage, and I'm joined here by the lovely Gina Torres for round 2.
Yes.
So obviously we're moving past and going into some new things now, but I wanted to start off by asking, we're in these crazy times, and as an artist, how are you staying inspired and engaged with the world in a positive way? I feel like everyone can use some light these days, and I just want to start there with you.
Yeah, I had a conversation. We had a dinner conversation, around the dinner table yesterday about just the energetic, everything that's going on in the energetic, and how it can 100% be a part of and inform how you're feeling and what you're doing and how you go about your day. Even if you're not a news junkie, even if you don't, subscribe to any of the things, even if you're not, it's still a part of the air that we're breathing right now, in the spaces that we're existing. I kind of likened it to all you Star Wars fans, to there's a disturbance in the Force, and you can't help but be affected by that. So my medicine, if you will, for that is to just really make my world as small as possible, and to start checking in with myself, to get to the spaces, the quiet spaces where I can breathe and really reflect on the things that I need to fill myself up, whether it be make a great meal and enjoy it fully, or sweating, working out. That's great time, spending real time with the people that I love, who live in this house, my daughter and my partner, and really listening, really getting back into the art of listening and paying attention and looking at someone in the eye and seeing where they are. I mean, because really right now, that's not even that hard to do, because that's all you see. Right. Even when I go to the market and you see how hungry folks are, when they're looking for produce, or they're looking through something, they want to connect. There's a connection. Or have you tried this before? There's sort of this eagerness to want to connect. And so I say, in the more ways you can put kindness out there, whether it's your immediate circle or the rippled circles that come forth, just keep putting kindness out there. It's really the only way that we can shift the dynamic that's happening right now. There's so much sadness, there's so much uncertainty, there's so much frustration, there's so much. We just have to counteract it with as much, as Pollyanna as that sounds, really as much love and understanding and compassion as we possibly can.
Absolutely. And I feel like so much of what you said really speaks to the audience of actors that we have watching now. Stay intimate, make eye contact, be kind, be present, be around the people who are in the same room as you. All of that, I think, really can apply to this work that actors often do. So I want to kick back also and talk a little bit about your early career. That's where I want to start, just in terms of the work with you. But according to IMDb, your first credit was 1992's Unnatural Pursuits. That's according to IMDb. That's your first credit.
Okay.
Do some check. If you'd like to correct the record now.
That was a long time ago. I have a feeling that I I might have had a very good year. 92 might have been a very good year. I know that there were a couple of soap opera roles around that time. I was on One Life to Live and Guiding Light, I think, and I think Unnatural Pursuits happened around that time. Yeah. And there's, you know, no, there's an NYPD Blue in there somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah. The early credits, you know, a lot of our readers obviously are just starting out their careers. So my question for you is, what for you was the biggest mistake that you felt that you made at the start of your career that you would want actors to be aware of today?
Oh gosh. Just one?
You can take that as you will.
You know, I think well, two things, because you know, it's hard when you're a young actor. You're trying everything, and you should absolutely try, you know, all things, because as a young actor, you don't know everything. As a mature actor, you don't know everything. As a person, you don't know. It's, you know, you're just you're a work in progress, and you should always feel like you're a work in progress. So don't be afraid to fail. And hope that when you swing for the fences, that somebody acknowledges and can appreciate the swing, whether you miss the fence or hit the fence or don't get anywhere near the fence. The passion and the commitment in the swing is so important, and you can't, and that's something that you can't second guess, because that's the thing that really sets you apart from anybody else.
I love that. I love that. And then in talking again, you've been a part of so many really, really awesome projects. You've been on Alias, you've been on Firefly, the much beloved Firefly, Hannibal, 24. But of course, your big break came later with Suits. There's so many people in the comments going, Jessica, I love you. Jessica.
Yeah.
But self-motivated in your career, especially in the leaner years, you know, how do you keep yourself going?
I love what I do, and I had no B plan. Let's be clear. There was no B plan. There was nothing else that I really wanted to do. You know, there was one thing, but this is what fed my soul. This was my dream, and it really wasn't about stardom for me. Stardom wasn't the be all end all. I focused on becoming a working, being able to do what I love to do, get paid for it, be able to pay my bills by doing that and just that, not you know, the two jobs actor. Most actors starting out really have to sort of keep in mind and make a peace with is under success isn't just red carpets and $1 paychecks, because really only like maybe 4 people make those nowadays. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if those 4 people are making that much now. It's really about yourself and sustaining your art continually, and that's the end game. That's the gift. That's being successful. If you're only in it to be famous, that's cheap fuel. There are other ways to get famous. You know, don't clutter up the space with somebody that really loves what they do and will sacrifice whatever they have to do it.
but now,
you mentioned was
you know,
success
obviously
coming later.
you're moving.
What was that?
Are we back?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
great. Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're moving into abundance with 911 Lone Star, and I want you to just talk to us a little bit about your character and the show itself. You're continuing the badass trend that you've started, so I would love to hear a little bit more about that.
Gina,
Hi.
thank you so much for your patience through all of this. It was going so smoothly for 10, 15 minutes, and then here we go.
I know. I was so hopeful.
I know. Well, my name is Ben. I'm the managing editor here at Backstage, so I'm going to jump in and finish up this interview for us.
Oh, sweet.
But we really do appreciate and value your time, so thank you again.
You got it.
We were just in the middle of talking about 911 Lone Star. Obviously an exciting opportunity for you. Just tell us a bit about how the opportunity first came to kind of co-lead this second season. You're a new character to the franchise. Must be a lot of fun acting opposite Rob Lowe. So just tell us a bit about how you came into the fold.
Rob Lowe is great. He absolutely is. He doesn't disappoint. So, you know, as somebody who's absolutely a part of the soundtrack of my adolescence, as well as all of my girlfriends who I have, who are like, oh my God, you're working with Rob Lowe? That's so exciting. That's so great. Oh my God,
Yeah.
what's he like? It's like everybody just becomes their 14-year-old self. It's
So more than a soundtrack, he was the heartthrob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's been, you know, fun and surreal. I got the call from Tim Minear in late summer of last year that Liv wasn't going to be able to come back and that he had written this character with me in mind. And of course, being at a place in our nation's history in terms of the global pandemic and in our industry, not knowing when I was going to work again, if I was going to work again, what that was going to look like, because it really truly is in so many ways such an intimate art form that requires a lot of people.
Yeah.
To put the protocols in place necessary to make a show happen, I think was a daunting task for anybody involved. But then I got the call.
Yeah.
And I loved how he drew this character. I love that she's so beautifully human and flawed and a little doubtful of, you know, how she's going to go back into the workforce, whether she still has it or not, whether she has it to give in both her work life as well as her personal life. Can she strike that balance? Again, something that I think most working parents go through, most working moms go through.
Absolutely.
And it's a place that so very many of us are finding ourselves at this point in time.
And I'm just going to say, I mean, obviously this character is rich and textured, and how flattering that it was written with you in mind. So you can't really turn that down when someone approaches you with that opportunity.
No.
Has that been the case before, or is this the first that someone comes to you saying, "Hey, Gina, I wrote this for you. Will you do it?"
I think that was really the first time. I think that was the first time that someone specifically said, "I've written this for you." Now, I've heard, you know, I don't see anyone else but you, you know, or now I can't see anybody but you. So that's nice too. When you can put your stamp on something so completely that it obliterates, you know, what anyone else was thinking before. So, but this was special, and it came from someone who I've known for quite some time. Because, you know, the poster behind me,
as we say,
yes, I'd done Firefly with Tim, And, you know, in the 20 years since, we've all gone off and, you know, and grown up and, and done our own thing.
Yeah.
And that he trusted me with being able to fill out, you know, fill in all the blanks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
put flesh and bone on Tommy Vega is a really great feeling.
So what is that? Obviously, Backstage, our audience today, in addition to being fans of yours, are the working actors of the world. What does that process look like for you to fill in the blanks? Obviously, you have these great scripts. You have this great character on paper. What is that? When you're alone with a script for the first time, how do you kind of flesh it out and make her a person?
You know, one of the joys of it being written with specifically me in mind is there are a lot of sort of no acting moments. There's a lot of personal experience I can draw from,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily from being a paramedic captain, but from being a human being that's you know, been on Earth for 50 years, and that's been lovely to draw from life, to draw from my own experience. It just
Mm-hmm.
makes it that much more organic, that much more authentic. And I can also call bullshit when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can also say, you know what? No, that doesn't feel right. I don't think that this is a choice that this person would make at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to do that with absolute authority. Other than that, we have great help on the show with technical advisors, people who are actual paramedics, working paramedics, who help us really look good. And so they help us make them look really good. so that's the win-win in all of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's all kind of a mutually beneficial relationship when you're on that set, certainly.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're no stranger to working in the television space. You're beloved for various roles. Suits comes to mind for years, and its spinoff series. What excites you about that space in particular versus the big screen, versus stage, versus other avenues that actors could make a living? It seems like such an exciting space right now to be working.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much content right now. There's so much going on, and it's become really sort of niche-y.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially with streaming. There's you can find even all the streaming services goes, oh, if I want this, I'll go spend some time there. If I want this specific, I'll spend some time there. And the way it's kind of all set up, you know, oh, you've watched this, so you might like.
The algorithm gets you every time.
Yeah, every single time. Which is, you know, I would like to suggest to people to not follow the algorithm, to really go out and explore, because there's such a big, beautiful world out there, and so many different ways of telling a story that we're being treated to. As far as film versus television versus stage, I started on the stage. I started my career on the stage in New York City, and it is probably still my favorite art form, because it's just the actor.
Mm-hmm.
It's us playing on stage. You know, you come out of the wings on places, and that's where you live and die until curtain. And that kind of energy and that kind of communion with your other actors, where you're holding on to each other and you're so dependent on each other to create that reality with the audience. At this, we're all feeling the same, hopefully the same thing at the same time. And there's something so genuinely fulfilling about that for an actor.
Yeah.
The same thing can happen in film and television. It just happens in shorter periods of time. It happens in like 1 minute beats, and you know, you can fly. You can live, you can be born and live and fly and die in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Right.
But it can happen and then, you know, somebody else sort of takes it and makes some more magic with it, and then somebody else takes it and makes some more magic with it. But by the time we're all experiencing it collectively, it's gone through so many changes. It's not the same.
Yeah, the stage feels like you have more, at least more direct ownership over it.
Yes.
To hear you speak about it, just the way that it's a shared experience between the audience, but also the people that you're acting opposite. We mentioned Rob Lowe, of course. I'd love to hear what makes a good scene partner in your book, and how do you bring that to the day on set? How do you play off of each other? How do you kind of prepare?
Best scene partners are the ones that come ready to play. And literally, it's, you know, and the same, it doesn't matter if it's comedy or if it's drama or if it's action, or if it's, you just have to be ready and willing to open yourself up and be prepared enough to do the job at hand, the task that you've been given, but also open enough and agile enough to let in the energy of the person and the persons that are around you, because you don't know what they're bringing to the table. You don't know what, you know, what they've got on that day. And so to be able to incorporate all of that, you know, it really is what brings all art forms together. It's the human interaction, it's the human connection, and to be able to throw the energy and bring it back, and that's what people see at the end of the day, whether they experience it in that moment and then it's gone if you're on stage, or whether it lives on forever because somebody recorded it and it's on celluloid. It's that interaction, it's those moments of flight that engage the audience and that leave an imprint. Yeah. And that's what you strive for.
To hear you speak about it, you obviously have had a passion for the performing arts for years. You've been at this since you're a teenager. I think it's beautiful that this has been kind of your through line in life, to be able to express yourself in this way, to share that experience with other people. We were touching on it, or Briana rather was touching on it earlier in her interview, but to wrap this up, again, don't want to take too much of your time, but I'd love to hear the piece of advice that you would give your younger self. Just when you were getting started in the performing arts, what's something that you wish you knew that you've kind of learned in your years along the way?
Oh, gosh. There are two very important things that I've learned. And it's pieces of advice that were handed down to me. Well, three.
No,
I'm gonna say
it's always a web, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm passing it down. I'm passing the torch to all of you who might be listening. I had really nothing but a relentless dream to propel me forward, and I had to believe that there was something inside of me that was valuable and that was right. That needed to be seen and heard, and I never lost sight of that, and I still haven't lost sight of that. And I'm somebody that really has, historically speaking, especially when I started out, there didn't seem to be much of a place for me. I'm damn near 6 feet tall. I'm ethnically ambiguous, you know, a woman. But with absolutely zero ties to the, you know, entertainment industry. But I persevered because I felt like I had no choice, and so it is that fire that should propel you forward and not hold you back. That's A. And so attached to that my reality, attached to that reality was somebody saying to me, you know, Gina, just hang in there, because everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn, and it's really up to you to make the most of it. So, and sometimes you get more than one. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 or 4, and so until, you know, people catch up. But if you're deflated after the first opportunity and it doesn't go the way you want to, then you don't get to have a second chance.
Mhm.
You don't get to have a third. The second thing was God has three answers. Yes, yes, but not right now, and yes, but it may not look the way you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the third piece of advice is pick your battles.
Mm. That's some hard won advice also. But I love that. I mean, you're sitting here. I'd be remiss not to point out that you're sitting here listing the ways that you felt like an outsider in the industry first getting your start. But the fire that has driven you these years has allowed you to also be the one that's opening the door and holding it open. So I really do appreciate you spending time with me this evening. Congrats on the new show. And thank you again for your patience. I know this has been quite the journey to get this interview together, but it was well worth it. It was great to pick your brain a little bit. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And we did it.
We did it. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah. I'll text Briana right now. She'll be very happy.
Fantastic. And
But,
thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you, everyone tuning in. And Gina, you stay well. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.